Right, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today what I'm going to be speaking about is the Tippman TMC. It is a very, very popular paintball marker used for self-defense as well as paintball gaming. This paintball marker is a mag fed, so a very, very important feature with the Tippman mag feed is that you have to wind your magazine before you load your rounds. There's a wire that runs internal to your magazine with the spring that retracts your spring so that you can load your rounds. Now, if you force your rounds into the magazine, that wire doesn't get retracted and it loops around the spring. It is an easy fix. You open this little port at the bottom here, the whole spring can come out of the magazine. Very easy to fix, but it's better to prevent it. So wind your magazines before you load them. It is very important. You do stand a chance of damaging the spring and the wire inside. So please, when you're loading, wind your mag until it stops. It'll pull the little internal spring all the way back. And then once it's all the way, you can, and then it'll pop back up. So that's what happens when you put the mag into the gun. It pushes on there and releases that spring on the tension. So it's got a very nice pull for when you want to release mag change. Beautiful design paintball markers, as they look very authentic. You don't see any hoses running anywhere. So these guns are very popular. Beautiful design that you have the Picatinny all around the barrel, the sides, top, bottom. You can mount a red dot reflex. They are awesome. I don't know if I'll be able to get that on camera. Yeah. This one goes green or blue. It's a pull to charge, and then fire. You can put the hopper onto this gun, because obviously you're limited to 20 rounds in the magazine. With the hopper on here, it will allow you to put a 200 ball hopper or a 50 ball hopper. So with that, you got a lot more rounds to shoot, but then they obviously gravity fed, so you have to wait for the rounds to fall into the chamber. As where with spring fed, they are pushed into the chamber, so you get a more repetitive speed of shooting your gun. With the defense spring modified in this gun, you're getting up to 480 feet per second with our defense spring. There's so much that is beneficial with having your sling mount. You can immediately mount a 1-point sling. That was something that I thought was quite impressive, that they got the sling eyes there. And yeah, it's very, very much basic. You've got your adjustable shoulder stock, and I'd say that this is one of the most popular self-defense paintball markers on the market. A lot of security companies really love these. They have that look, and they're effective. So I like it. They're very accurate. They don't go overpowered, because obviously with a round ball you have no flight characteristic. So you've got to try and manipulate the spin of the ball to try and direct it in the air to get your distance or get around corners. So you do get apex barrels and stuff like that you can always mount. But straight out the box, something like this is in the region of 6,500 Rand. And you do have the ability to put an air through shoulder stock, so you can have the cylinder in the shoulder stock. instead of having it fitted onto the grip. But that's quite an excess of an upgrade. Don't really need it. We want it looking like a paintball marker. We don't want it looking too much like a real gun, because in South Africa we have to be concerned about the criminal. Criminals have more rights than us, unfortunately. Don't hold me on that, but they do have a lot of rights. And we got to be careful we don't infringe on that. You shoot a criminal with the paintball marker, we need it looking like a paintball marker. Because in a court of law, if they say that they felt threatened, that their life was on the line, that they were being shot at with a real gun, and they injured themselves getting away, there are ways around it, but it's very difficult. So I always just advise to my customers, try and keep it looking as a paintball marker. They look very intimidating already. You don't need to make it extra. It also just, you don't want to have to explain yourself, So I really like the Tippman TMC. It's a beautiful gun, but the price is a bit up there for most people in South Africa. The next one that comes in is the Tippman Stormer Elite, which is exactly the same as the Tippman TMC. The barrel's a little bit different, but I will do a video showing that the Tippman Stormer Elite, which is a very nice gun and a lot cheaper. You're looking at about 4,800 Rand for a Tippman Stormer Elite, and it's also mag feed. Also can mount a reflex sight, also adjustable shoulder stock, also no pipes, braided hoses or anything coming out from the grip. It's just screw into the grip, your cylinder, and you're good to go. That's another thing to note. Vital is putting an on-off valve onto your cylinders. That is one of the most important things. That is a step one to making a self-defense paintball marker, so that you don't have to screw this on and off all the time. Because as a normal paintball cylinder, it's got a little nipple that you got to push on that by screwing it in to activate the gas. Now to unpressurize the gun, you got to unscrew that, and you risk tearing this O-ring every single time. Now to replace that is a mission in the situation that you got a criminal and you need to defend yourself. So leaving that screwed on, you're safe, that's not torn. You can shoot a couple rounds, close the gas, shoot that pressure out, and you're good to wait until the next threat in your until there is a threat in your property, and you can shoot at that, turn the gas on and shoot at the criminal. So these are some of the most important things that paintball for defense has always been. Like, you have to have an on-off valve on your cylinder. Other than that, you have a remote line, and the remote line will be a hose that can go to a backpack with the cylinders in your backpack, and then it's just a braided hose that plugs into the gun. I will do a video highlighting the information on the braided hose. The remote lines are really, a remote line. Remote lines are really, really nice because you get a pressure release remote line. So when you slide the nozzle back and it releases the pressure, it locks the air in the either the compressed air or the CO2 on the cylinder side, and it doesn't purge out through the hose. You can just connect it to whichever gun you want, and I really like that design. I will follow up on remote line videos in a short while. I do apologize, I have not been up to date with all my videos. I've just had my hands full with getting schooling and all this done for my kid. So I am on top of doing as many videos as I can of all my guns, my paintball markers. That's also a very good point I need to make. A paintball marker by law, we want to call that a paintball marker, not a gun, because it's not a gun. You're marking your targets with paint. That's what these are, paintball markers. The minute you start calling it a gun, then it becomes a gun in the sense of a court situation, or explaining it to the police. Don't call it a gun. Call it a paintball marker, so that you sort of it's a gray area, but it really does help. You refer to it as a paintball marker. It doesn't bring in any misconfusion, misperceptions, and all that sort of stuff. So I just want to touch quickly. There is a plate here. That plate comes off to allow for your hopper to go on here, or you get a feed neck that slots in and screws on, and then you can put your hoppers on there. You can mount whatever you want on here, tack torch, laser. I mean, there's so much that you can think of, foregrip. So there's a lot of ability to build up with something like this than buying a speedball or a Spider Victor kind of thing, as obviously it won't give you any options for improving the design at a later stage. So that is my quick rundown of the Tippman TMC. I know, quick for 11 minutes, but 12 minutes. So it's a very good paintball marker, and I really do recommend at least shooting one of these ones. They are loads of fun. Your velocity screw is located here, where with a chrono I'm able to adjust it a lot better. As it's sitting right now, that's to my memory of how I get my performance at that setting, where I would be able to fine tune it as soon as I get my chrono, and I can fine tune getting the feet per second to its absolute sweet spot. I can also run compressed air, because obviously I'm running CO2. It's just easier and easier to get a hold of, and I do refill my own CO2 cylinders and customer CO2 cylinders here. I will be getting my dive cylinder and full station. I will be doing compressed air, but for now CO2 will just have to do. Compressed air is cleaner. It doesn't freeze up your gun when you. This I won't need it, because this I'm not shooting automatic. Because when you shoot with CO2, it purges out, because now it's tech wet CO2, so it purges out the liquid form of the CO2 and freezes the moisture in the air, and so you get like a snowy frost buildup that closes up sometimes on small spaces. So if you're doing automatic, the CO2 will clump up and reduce your feet per second quite gradually, until it could even ultimately stop your gun from working, because the CO2 freezes up those little passageways. And so compressed air is a better way to go with using for paintball markers, but CO2 for a semi-automatic it works perfectly fine. Doesn't damage the guns in any way. So that's my breakdown, and I really do appreciate it if you would subscribe to my channel, and keep up to date with the latest videos that I do, and see all the nifty, cute, cool new toys that I get going on my video as soon as possible. Thanks. Have a good one. Cheers.